There are certain things that take priority in my life. I have money in my wallet. What do? Pay my electric bill or buy a pen? I always do this. I always buy the pens. So my electricity was shut off today. Yes, it actually does happen. However, it was shut off by mistake. I managed to pay the bill yesterday, but the guy with the wire cutters was not informed. So today, right in the middle of doing something, the electricity went off. So now it's back on and I can play with some pens. It's been a long time, as you can tell by looking at these pens, all tarnished, that they've been ignored. So it's time to pay attention to them. These all came out of the Waterman drawer, and just looking at them, I thought, gee, this is a nice nib, and it's a nice pen. So this is a relatively rare pen. It's a screw, eyedrop fill screw in section screw cap pen, whatever number that is, 412.5V or 442.5V. I think that's what they're called, or something. I don't know. I don't remember my numbering system, but I'm testing out these nibs. I haven't played with these in years. I bet years. Nice springy nib. And I recently got from eBay today, it was one of these things, so I can actually measure how wide these lines are, because I know some people pay attention to that. That goes pretty wide. Come on, don't railroad on me. Well, I think that's about as wide as I can safely get on this one. Of course, it doesn't help when you, whatever that is, it's at 10, 9 something. What is the, it goes to 11. I don't know what the measurement is here. Where's my loop so I can see what I'm looking at? What seems to be the problem? Reading glasses, do they help? No. Here. Start paying attention here. This says what? 64ths of an inch. So what does that mean? Oh, I see there's two scales here. There's a centimeter and a, well, I'll have to learn how to use this complicated thing here. Let's just figure this out. Okay, that's an inch. So where is it an inch? Where does it say inch on this thing? That's an inch. That's half an inch. I can read the 0.5. Are those 64ths? Yes, those are 64ths. So this was, well, I have to get up my, I should have had this in centimeters or something. Anyway, what do you think? Don't know. Don't know. Anyway, let's go back to the pens. Ignore how wide it is. Nice rubbery nib on this thing. This is a short pen, as you can see, and I sort of like the springy broad to broader line in that. That seems well suited. Okay, here we have a mismatched cap and barrel, but it's okay. It looks nice with its clip there. This is a number 5 Waterman nib. Is this a 415? Okay, well that's subtle. Let's try that again. Again, I haven't used these pens in years, so. This nib is perfectly lovely, but very springy. This would be a really nice pen to draw with, I think. This has a nice rubbery sturdiness to it, which would be really good for drawing. I think it's a little bit clunky for writing. I mean, it'd be fine for writing, you know, a note to the mailman or the teacher or something. Please excuse Johnny from class. But it doesn't. It would not make a calligrapher happy. It's just too masculine a nib, if I can use that word. It's just takes too much work to make that nib spread. Okay, another 412. This is missing its clip, which once lived there. Look at how nice this tarnish looks. It's so warm. And it's okay, this is really sweet, very springy, but it starts off whisper quiet. And this is a perfect pen for this size, perfect nib for this size pen, because there's a nice balance between the back of the pen lifting up on the front of the pen, which I've described. So this is a really nice match there. Good for calligraphy. Here's a nice early fine silver Waterman. Looks like it'll have another very springy nib. This probably will be a little loud. Yeah. Starts out quieter than I thought it would. Quite a wet noodle though. This would make the wet noodle-y people happy. Here's a lever filling pen. This Post-it here. Don't be lazy. This is similar to the other one I had with a very whispery fine. Not as whispery, but pretty nice. Very springy. So pens, I'm talking to you. Why have I ignored you for so many years? Why am I playing with your brethren rather than you? This one has an R engraved on it. Lastly, we have this Sheraton pattern. Sort of a short cap on the back. This, if I remember correctly, maybe I'm not. See, sometimes I do remember the nibs that are on these pens, even if I haven't played with them in a long time. This one I thought was going to be finer and springier. It's very springy, but snappier is what I meant to say. And I bet that one is in a similar pen and pencil set that I have that has a beautiful inscription. Something Collings Jr. I wonder if I could find that right now while you're waiting. I can bring it out here and see if it has that nib. Just test my memory, if nothing else. Am I remembering correctly? But look at that nice springiness. Let's see if I can find it. So I'll be right back. Just take me a minute. I did find it. I haven't uncapped it yet, so I don't really know what nib it is, but this is, as you now know from my collection, I have it in various locations. And this was in a drawer. This could have been a drawer in the drawer that has Waterman in it. It could have been in the drawer that had Waterman in it. It could have been in the drawer. Sorry, I'm plugging the phone in here because it said low battery. It could have been in the drawer that had the smooth sterling pens in it. It could have been in the drawer that had engravings on it. Or, and I think I have a pencil to go with it, it could have been in a set, the set area that I have the sets. But it's Charles F. Collings, ESA, from the Boston Alumni Association, Sigma Alpha Epsilon, 1927. Is that what that says? 27? No. 1937. 1937. So this is a 452.5 LEC. 452.5 LEC. There it is. That's the nib I thought it would have. Very, very fine. I knew I put this nib in that pen. It just looked, this pen looks like it should write in the most delicate whisper of a line with just a little tiny bit of volume needed occasionally. He's very well bred, this pen, and the Collings, Charles Collings. You know, he never shouts, speaks in a normal voice, mostly rather quiet. What he does say is very important, so you have to listen. Look at that, just how simple that is. Just elegant. I probably would carry Charles around with me in my pocket, but this one seems to have survived from 1937 till today without having teeth marks or dents on it. And though I'm not going to be chewing on it, I am always able to drop a pen, and I would hate to have a ding occur. Pens that are in perfect shape or have really, really fragile nibs on them, I'm afraid of using because I'm afraid I'm going to break them somehow. Doesn't happen very often that I drop a pen, but it has happened. So this will go back in its drawer, but I'll leave it out here on my desk for a while to enjoy it. All of these pens, probably the pens here that have sacks in them, probably need new sacks put in them, because I may have put the sack in this pen when I bought it 28 years ago or something. But what a joy it is to try out these pens again for the first time in a long time. This is Charles's flashier cousin. You know, this is the one that came from the slightly... Now he's the eldest son. You see, he has to inherit the manor, and the younger son here doesn't have to be quite so stuffy, and he runs around in a flashy sports car and drinks a lot and wears loud outfits. But you can see the resemblance. They're still brothers, you can tell that. The older aunts and uncles you see here, and these are quite lovely. One of the reasons I did this was looking at the pens that I found this morning that I had slipped behind a drawer, and I didn't know that they were there for a long time, and I was able to sort of rekindle my relationships with the pens, and I thought, well, I'll do that with these. But see, these, I knew what these were about a little bit more. I remembered them better. How can you not like sterling? And to shine these up, then it would look cheap. You need that gray tarnish to make it look legit. See, this is what I'm doing. It fell right out of my hand and started rolling down. Luckily it hit my gut. Look at the gold one, it's just showing off. It's like the tanned lifeguard at the beach. These are all the pasty people that show up on the weekends only, and here's the guy that's bronzed, just showing off. And sometimes there's a place for those bronzed, muscle-bound lifeguards, but very showy. These are much subtler. And I guess I better say goodbye because my cat's about to jump up here. So, see you later.